Well, hi there, everybody. Good Tuesday morning to meteorologist Travis Klineski here for the Nebraska Weather Network and KSNB TV, NBC Nebraska. Going through the day today, we've been talking about this for several days now, the severe weather threat. First off, I want to apologize for the delay in this video. I wanted to wait until a few new forecast models came out, and of course the latest Storm Prediction Center outlook. Not a lot of changes out there. Still a big question as to exactly how things play out, though, later this afternoon. So I'll kind of give you my best guess of how I think things will kind of go here. First off, it's pretty quiet for most of us. There has been some activity on northern portions of Nebraska, up around the Nebraska-South Dakota border, as far south as about Ord and Broken Bow this morning. Outside of that, we had some early morning convection, some severe weather along the Nebraska-Kansas border, southeast of the Tri-Cities. That is all pushed eastward. Now, you're seeing a lot of green on this map here. We're really not seeing much for moisture out there right now, so you can almost just ignore that as we're not seeing much. The chance of rain does not look to be that high for much of the day today. It's late this afternoon. After about 4 o'clock, we'll start to watch showers and thunderstorms to develop, but the big question is where will they develop, and that's still tough to answer at this point. We've had a warm front that's been kind of almost stationary now, sitting just south of the viewing area near Interstate 70 or just north of Interstate 70 down in Kansas. That'd be like Salina to Russell, Kansas, towards Hays, Kansas, those locations northward. So south of there, they've been seeing a very warm, sticky day, temperatures in the 70s early this morning already. Farther north, cooler. In fact, so cool we got snow up in northwest Nebraska. Now, this frontal boundary looks to lift north close to the Nebraska-Kansas border later this afternoon. The big question is how far north does it lift? Some of that morning convection left some outflow boundaries. Does that impact the distance that comes northward here as we go through the rest of the day today? Well, anyway, late this afternoon after about 4 or 5 o'clock, I expect some developing thunderstorms. Again, not all forecast models are showing this, but most are. So that's why I'm still a little iffy on if this exactly will happen for sure or not. I mean, this could end up being a bust day where not much happens, but at the same time, it could be a fairly serious day as well, so we got to keep a close eye on this because there's a lot of instability near and south of that warm front, and there's a lot of shear in the atmosphere as well, and so there's, with all that twist, that shear, that twist in the atmosphere, rotating supercell thunderstorms are a possibility. Well, again, we'll be watching those areas closely. Certainly Nebraska is under the gun as well, but I really think close to the border of Nebraska and Kansas and just a little bit south from there has the best chance of seeing strong to severe thunderstorms. Those will continue into the evening hours, but late into the night, that's tornado threat will go down. Still a severe weather threat, but then after midnight, I think that chance of severe weather really starts to go down, and then we focus more on just showers and thunderstorms and maybe some heavy rainfall. Flooding could be the other issue out of this over the next couple of days, not just the next 2 days really, but even towards the end of the week. While we don't have a lot of severe weather in the forecast, we could be talking about more heavy rainfall towards the end of the week and the upcoming weekend. So the Storm Prediction Center hasn't made a lot of changes over the last day or so to this outlook that they have here. The big change they made this morning at 8 o'clock was to trim off part of southeast Nebraska from the moderate risk. Places like Lincoln basically were kind of trimmed off from that. Otherwise, it's pretty much stayed the same. And again, the farther south you go in the viewing area, I think the higher your chance is going to be for severe weather. Now, still looking at a tornado threat. I've lowered it from high down to medium, though. I don't think we'll see a lot of tornadoes. There will be a possibility of some, though, and maybe even a strong tornado or two. Hail looks to be the biggest threat right now. I think we could be looking at baseball-sized hail, maybe even larger. And then, of course, we do have a threat of some damaging wind gusts with some of the strongest storms as well. Well, let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. This will be very brief here because, again, the main focus is on today. Again, still a lot of rainfall coming in through tomorrow and then wrapping up tomorrow night. And then as quickly as we dry things out Thursday, we see more showers and storms come in late Thursday night into Friday with a really good chance Friday night and Saturday. Not looking at a lot of severe weather again, as that threat will be much lower. Notice how it's cooler, a little more stable out there, but we are going to be looking at some heavy rainfall heading into the weekend. And then maybe towards early next week on Monday, we taper things off, and it looks like maybe much of next week we'll finally dry things out, maybe a good chance to get farmers out in the fields and finally start planting things. So again, that's kind of a quick look at the extended, but again, the main focus will be later this afternoon, especially that 4 o'clock through about midnight time frame. I think that's going to be the best chance of severe weather. And again, the closer you live to the Nebraska-Kansas border, especially the south of that border, the better your chances of severe weather will be again. So there is your forecast for today. Of course, stay tuned to the Nebraska Weather Network on Facebook and on Twitter, NBC Nebraska, for cut-ins later on today. Hopefully we don't have to cut into The Voice. I know a lot of people are very invested in that show, especially with a Nebraska native on the show. We don't want to cut in if we don't have to. And then myself, I will be out this afternoon and this evening, so I won't be doing a lot of posting on Facebook or Twitter. I will be out with Josh Sprider. We'll be taking the camera out, maybe seeing if we can capture one of these tornadoes if there's the possibility. We'll probably start close to the Smith Center, Kansas area and go from there. So there you go. There it is for today. Until next time, stay safe out there and have a great Tuesday.